And just like that, we have hit 10,000 subscribers. Maybe actually not just like that, it's taken a bit, but I do want to chat with you guys today and talk to you about how YouTube can dramatically change your life. And I'm going to cover 3 or 4 key areas that I see the potential if you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel. Maybe you've had it on the back burner for a year or 2. I'm gonna share with you what it's like going through a very slow process to grow to 10,000 subscribers, uploading over 400 videos, and getting to this point, and sharing really what this experience has been like. And maybe just by the end of this video, you're gonna have more purpose or reason or value to understand if you should start a YouTube channel yourself. So let's get into it. Now, so we're on the same page, and just to show you the power of just being consistent, I have consistently uploaded a video to YouTube since 2020, and we have uploaded content every single week. At one point we started doing 2 a week, one point we were doing 3 a week. As of right now, we're doing 1 a week. But to date, we have 425 videos live. As I'm recording this, it's 423. We just hit 10,000 subscribers. Everything is organic growth. There's been no major viral moments. There's just one, and except one, where we had about 400 subs follow us subscribe within like a 24-hour period, where I think someone shared one of our pieces of content, but it wasn't going viral on YouTube. It was someone sharing our content to a big audience. Now, something interesting too worth mentioning is our best video has about 34,000 views, and it's not 3.4 million, which is a really cool experience to see. And on top of that, some few other key data points to share with you, and I have no problem sharing this. Number 1, our AdSense account earns about $1,200 per month. On high months, it's about $2,000. On lower months, it's about $1,000. And so we're closer to that lower end right now, but I'm just sharing what's live in the account today. We average about 47,000 views per month, which is bonkers to me. And then our watch time is about 2,600 hours, which if you divide that by 24, that basically means that for every 30 days, there are people watching content worth 110 days. In other words, if one day is gone by, people have watched technically 3 days worth of content, which is wild because I'm sitting here filming a video, but this only takes up 20, 30 minutes of my day. The rest of the day I'm hanging out or working or sleeping, and people are watching the content, which is mind-boggling and so cool. So now with this context, let's really talk about a few key things that can dramatically change your life if you think about starting a YouTube channel and what that can do for you. Number 1, let's talk about confidence as an individual. The way you communicate, the way you share, the way you think about ideas, all of that becomes a little bit more real and a little bit more concrete when you have to make it as a statement, put it in a video, and then upload it and publish it where you can never, quote unquote, change it. This is a very powerful thing for you to develop your beliefs, how you communicate, what you talk about, what you value, how you speak about it, and all of that. Most importantly, it builds up your confidence, because at first you're probably gonna have this cringe factor to the fact that you make videos where you're like, I don't even want to see myself on the camera or with my friends. If they were to hit play on this video while I was around, I'd be so it just would be cringe. Over time, you have to develop a tolerance for that and not allow that to bug you or stop you. And the best way I figured out to do that in the beginning was basically 2 things. I told myself I'm gonna do 100 videos. I'm not gonna ask questions. I'm not gonna reconsider it. I'm not gonna compare if it was good or bad or how many views it got. I'm just gonna make 100 videos and do my best to get a little bit better on each and every video. On top of that, I really worked on confidence talking to a piece of glass. You may feel that I am very warm or connected to you, or almost as if you really were sitting in front of me and we were having coffee right now, just kicking it, which would be dope. But the reality is I'm literally talking to a piece of glass. There is no one else in this room. And getting comfortable with that takes a bit of work. And so it gives you a lot of confidence as an individual because you learn how to express your ideas, but then you also learn how to just stand in a way where people can quote unquote critique you or like watch your video and be like, that was good, that was bad, I didn't like the way this did, or I didn't like the way you said that, or whatever. You learn a lot about that, which leads us to point number 2. You get really good at communication. One of the key things I love about YouTube that is so powerful is the ability to learn how to communicate an idea succinctly and clear. One essential aspect of YouTube is that you don't really want to repeat yourself. If I was doing a talk with you and we were at an event and I was a speaker, it would actually be good for me to repeat myself over and over again so you really get these ideas stapled down in your head. But with YouTube, you don't want to waste people's time. So you might introduce the idea and you might talk about it, but you don't want to repeat yourself too much. If you go back to my earlier content, you'll see that I actually repeat myself a lot. And there's a lot of cringe factor and there's a lot of repeating myself and there's a lot of this experience where it's like learning how to do all of this while making sure the mic is on, the lighting is good, the shot is the good angle, like all those details sort themselves, like getting all of that situated, but then on top of that, being able to communicate effectively, clearly, and be concise is another very, very powerful thing about this. And so if you're looking to improve your world on how you communicate, YouTube can be a great way for you to do that because you start to put your ideas together in a way that you're like, I'm rambling. You watch your video over again and you see that you're rambling on ideas and then you can like talk a lot about it, but then you learn how you could trim it down and just get to the essential point and go from there, which leads us to number 3. Number 3 is this. One of the most powerful things about the modern world that we live in is the ability to divorce your time from earnings. This is something that there's a lot of gurus out there who talk about passive income, residual, all of that. This is one of those places that really helps you develop that flow and how people will engage with your video and then your next steps, whatever that might be, whether it is a service or it is a digital product. Now, I've learned that for almost every single one of my YouTube videos, probably 95% of them, there is at least one main call to action to one of my digital products. And so this whole flow, this whole experience is, and it's not just that I make the video to sell the item, but when I make the video, if somebody wants more help, they can go check out a specific item. But I had to go develop all those items, develop the workflow and the communication and how like everything works together so that when I am out with friends, I can get a notification on my watch that says somebody just purchased something from your store, which is awesome and so cool. Learning how to do this and then getting into this space where I'm now sitting here having this conversation with you and maybe having a conversation with my friend, or maybe I'm at like in a classroom, or maybe I'm working, whatever it is, there are people who are engaging with my content, getting help. I'm literally helping people and I'm not around them. I'm not talking to them. I probably will never meet them. There's this wild world of things happening in my life while I'm here sitting and having a conversation with you. What's so crazy too in this is that in 2022, we hit about 2.5 million impressions on YouTube. Basically what that means is my face on some thumbnail showed up 2.5 million times on different inquiries and searches that people did, which led to hundreds of thousands of views. This year alone, and we're just in the middle of August, basically at the end of August, we've already hit 3.6 million impressions. And so the fact that we're at 3.6 million impressions already this year, again, I'm sitting here, I'm not running circles to get in front of a bunch of people, and I'm not doing like viral hit videos where I'm like doing stunts or anything crazy. This has been so life-changing because now I'm able to get in front of people who have questions that I can answer, help them find immediate results, and if they want more help, they can reach out to any of the digital products I have or go all the way to hire me for a service. And this leads me to number 4, which is about positive impact. You will be so surprised at the ability for you to have a positive impact in people's lives with things as simple as helping somebody design their website. I get kind comments from people literally every single week, if not basically every other day. This was so helpful. Thank you. All of this. Do I get a few comments of people dissing the work or dissing the video or the content or whatever? Yes, but honestly, it does not affect me in any significant way because I've learned a lot in this process. But to see all these kind comments and I'm really genuinely helping people with something that's really easy for me, but is confusing for others, or they just don't have the experience close to what I have, I'm able to help people understand how to think about things, put frames on things, on understanding, and take next steps quickly. And so I create content on it, and now there's content for all these different things and answering so many different people's questions, which is so cool to see because it really shows the power of just sharing what you know with people. And that's what these videos are. Most of what I've done so far is sharing knowledge with people and helping answering people's problems. I really don't think people are sitting up late at night, laying in their bed, watching my videos to go to bed. But there is a lot to be said that these videos help people in specific questions they have to find specific answers. And so if you're thinking about doing a YouTube channel, really consider these things in the value that you could bring. I'm not an influencer in the normal sense. I'm not like a celebrity. I'm not great, I'm not like a personality. These things are not my like default setting or why people choose to watch my content. But that doesn't mean it's not worth watching. And so I've learned so much about this process. It's given me so much confidence, and it gets me really excited about anything I'm doing or trying on how I could then potentially create content on it that I enjoy and I would love to watch over and over and over again. So with that said, I hope this inspires you to start a YouTube channel. And if it does, leave a comment down below because I'd love to hear about it. And with that, thank you guys to all the subscribers, all 10,000 of you. This is such a huge milestone and I'm excited for what's next. With that, see you guys in the next video. Peace.